Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sydney, and if you are new here, this is just a place where we can talk about true crime, spooky scary stories, dark history, or anything else I got going on in my brain. We are about halfway done with the weird YouTube iceberg, and today we're going to be back talking about tier 5. I'm going to link all of the videos in a playlist at the end of the video if you want to go and watch those first, or if you want to watch this one first. It doesn't really matter. It's all weird. I'm going to link the picture of the iceberg below as well if you feel like looking at it and doing your own research too. That's totally fine. I will let you know that in this tier, I did leave out some of the entries just because either they didn't really fit with the vibe or I didn't think that they were weird enough. And there are a few videos that are just a little bit too sexually explicit that I just didn't really want to go into detail with. Again, I'll link the picture below if you want to take a peek at some of those videos. Totally go for it. A few of them actually aren't on YouTube anymore because they've been removed. So I just want to let you guys know right off the bat. I'm also just going to put out here that viewer discretion is advised for this video. We're going to be looking at gruesome YouTube content, and therefore if you are not into gore, if you're not into darker subject matter, you might want to skip over this video, or feel free to skip around if you'd like as well. Alright, so without any further ado, let's get into tier 5 of the weird YouTube iceberg. We are coming out swinging with this first video of tier 5, and that is Cool Guy Has a Chill Day. The title really does say it all. It was posted in January of 2009 by Lonely Boy Industries, and it sits at about 9 million views. This video spread all over the internet, and it really just leaves you feeling kind of happy, even though it's definitely a little bit weird. Next, we're going to be talking about Daisy Leaves, and I do just want to emphasize that viewer discretion warning right here because it gets pretty dark pretty fast. So this is a 59-second black and white video, and the first time I saw it, it scared the hell out of me because I had no idea if it was real or not, and I didn't really know what I was watching. The video shows what appears to be a dead body wrapped up in black plastic with duct tape, and it's laying in front of a door. If you listen closely, you can actually hear a song playing in the background of this video, and it is a 1922 song named Santa Claus Hides in Your Phonograph. We sit like this for an uncomfortably long time before the scene suddenly cuts and we see that the front door has been opened and the body is suddenly gone. At the 53-second mark, the video cuts again and we see a man standing with his back to the camera in front of the door, and he looks mad. He seems to be visibly shaking with anger, and he's holding an unknown object. And that is how the video ends. The video description reads, "No, no, 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 no. She left us, and now there is no Daisy. No Daisy. Daisy, Daisy, Daisy. We want Daisy back. Bring us back Daisy. We need her here. She should be here. Always here." I'm just going to put that out into the universe, and you can do with that information whatever you would like. But that is some creepy shit, and I don't want to deal with that, so I'm making you guys learn about it too. All 12 videos, and just so you guys know, 2 of those videos have been removed, so we only have access to 10 of them. But all of these videos are posted on July 12th of 2015 and featured this wrapped up body, who we can now assume is Daisy, doing various different things. And of course, with all strange videos that are found on YouTube, there are multiple different theories about what this little mini-series is all about. One popular theory among Reddit users especially is that this body, Daisy, is actually a dead body, and that Robert is using this to serve as some kind of evidence. Like, if you think about it, if police ever came by and asked about this body, or if they found it, Robert could say that, oh, this is just a prop that I use for my videos. Here are the videos. I make them as an art project. Another theory that I think is pretty strange is that Daisy is a metaphor for Christmas trees. It kind of makes sense if you think about how Robert uses Christmassy themes and songs throughout his videos. And in most of the videos, we can kind of see this theory come to light. We bring the Christmas tree into our homes, we leave it here for a while, and after the Christmas season, we take it away. just like how we see in Daisy Leaves that Daisy is suddenly gone. What I and a number of other people believe, though, is that Robert Helpman's channel is just an outlet for his creative art project, and it just happens to be an extremely convincing art project. But please let me know what you guys think if you have any theories of your own. I am super interested in this, and it's definitely one of the creepiest channels I've seen on YouTube so far. Also, if you want me to do a deep dive into Robert Helpman's channel, talk about some theories more in depth, go through each video in detail, I would be happy to do that. So please let me know that as well. Our next entry is New Super Mario Bros. Wii, with a lot of eyes at the end. It's important to note that. So this video starts out with the New Super Mario Bros. Wii theme, and Mario's just like, you know, in every game he's like Mario Kart 8 or like Super Mario Bros. Wii. So he does his little spiel. New Super Mario Bros. Wii. At the end he just keeps saying Wii for a long time. Which is like fun at first, but after like a minute of it getting more distorted and dark, it's a little creepy, I'm not gonna lie. And on top of that, we also see flashes of gory images of both Mario and Peach. I couldn't find much information behind the video itself, but I have to imagine that this scared the shit out of so many little kids who just were fans of Mario. That's what YouTube is all about when you really think about it. So next we're gonna be talking about Pete, the meat puppet. And I had no idea what I was getting myself into when I watched this video, but it was quite a trip, I have to say. This video is actually a song. Here comes Pete, he's a meat puppet, a meat puppet, a puppet of meat. And it starts out with a butcher who cannot have children of her own, so she builds a meat puppet and she names him Pete. It's giving Pinocchio. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's definitely giving Pinocchio. And we need to talk about Pete for a second because he's gross. I don't know how else to say that. He's just nasty. He's really just a little guy made out of meat, but he's also mixed with like a dummy, so it's very unsettling, especially if you're like me and you're scared of puppets and meat kind of grosses you out. Not a good combo, you know what I'm saying? So then the butcher, for some reason, breastfeeds her lifeless meat puppet, and he comes to life. And it scares her to death, and I don't blame her for that. I have so many questions, but there are no answers. With her dying breath, she tells her son, Pete the meat puppet, to find the meaning of life. And in the last word she said, right before she died, be a good boy, Pete, and find that meaning of life. So Pete, all alone, he goes and he finds a job, and his boss actually gets him into marketing and advertising. He soon becomes this mascot for the company, and he gets married, has 3 beautiful children, and is living the American dream. But like with most celebrities, the pressure of the fame really gets to Pete, and he ends up turning to drugs, alcohol, and adultery. And he hits rock bottom when he does horrible things with a cow. Is it bestiality if it's a meat puppet having sex with a cow, which is also basically meat? I don't know, and I don't want to get into it, okay? Anyway, his wife and kids end up leaving him, and he's forced to sell his body on the street. This video ends with Pete, and he has his guitar, and he's just rambling around, trying to find the meaning of life. Now I ramble around, going town to town, singing songs on my guitar, nothing gets me down. This was actually a super interesting video, not only the visual and creative aspects of it, but also the message that's able to be taken away from this video. And looking at a lot of the different comments, we are able to see that there is a deeper meaning to this video. Pete represents the common celebrity story, coming up from nothing, gaining all this fame and power, making some mistakes, and then losing that power and losing that fame. The system uses Pete for all that he has and then just tosses him to the side. Unfortunately, this is something that we commonly see in Hollywood, unfortunately, and this short video really shows that, I think, in a very interesting and creative way. I think the strangest part of this whole video is that it's actually part of a few different videos that were advertisements for a fashion line called Diesel, and they specialize in mainly like denim collections. Looking into it, their brand is generally speaking, just kind of quirky, from their advertisements, obviously, all the way to their catwalks. But this was definitely an interesting video, and I think it for sure fits on this iceberg. I was like waiting with bated breath, like when is this video gonna come up? And it's finally here. We are gonna be talking about Teddy Has an Operation. This video is pretty popular. It sits at about 43 million views right now, but we're gonna go into it nonetheless because I have been wanting to talk about this video for a while. The video opens with our patient Teddy, and he's obviously here to have some sort of procedure. The narrator's voice is very calming and reassuring that what we're about to do is going to make Teddy feel a whole lot better.
There is something wrong with Teddy. Don't worry, Teddy. The doctor's going to find out what is wrong.
The doctor gives Teddy some bear gas, and Teddy goes out like a light. Then the doctor proceeds to cut into Teddy, and we see his bonbon layer, but unfortunately his bonbons are filled with cigarette butts. No worries though, the doctor quickly replaces Teddy's bonbons, and then we move on to Teddy's clay pouch. The doctor adds more sprinkles, and then we move on to Teddy's kidney. And we are really getting in there at this point. Teddy's kidney appears to have gangrene, which reduces his patience with children. So the doctor takes out the crayons that are causing the disease, and then we move on to Teddy's courage sac. This is where we see that Teddy's courage sac is actually filled with fear. And this is obviously not good, so the doctor takes out all that fear and replaces it with courage. And we move right along. Lastly, we see Teddy's heart. And although it is a huge heart, we see that it has been broken by a bad boy that did horrible things to Teddy. So the doctor takes out all of those bad things and replaces all of those bad things with a child that will love Teddy correctly. The doctor then sews Teddy up, gives him a couple bandages, and we see Teddy awake and happy at the end of the video. I actually really love this video, and once you get past the goriness of it all, the narrator's voice is very calming, and it's really a happy story. Like, the doctor is fixing Teddy up so that a new child can love him and give him the proper care that he needs. And I really appreciate this video. Actually, it seems like most of the comments on this video are saying that we need an update on how Teddy's doing, and I definitely agree. We need a Teddy sequel, please. That's what 2024 needs, okay? If nothing else, a Teddy sequel. We're going to be moving right along to our next entry, and that is Real Demons Caught on Tape. This video is posted by Chester Tyler 714 on January 28th of 2009, and it has over 5 million views as of today. The video appears to be shot on like a camcorder, and it has potato quality. At first it starts out with a few moments of darkness before a flashlight comes on and pans around the room, and suddenly we see a gray hand coming down from the ceiling, and then we see another and another before the flashlight turns off again. It suddenly turns back on, and we can see that there are arms everywhere, but that's not actually what the camera person is focusing on. They're focusing on, I don't even know what to call it, maybe like little legs, and they are coming out from under the door. One by one, these little legs are popping out from under the door, and then the cameraman pans over to his wall, and all of a sudden an eyeball pops out from the wall and the flashlight goes out again. The cameraman struggles in the dark before the flashlight comes on again, and we see a dark figure coming out of the closet. Then, jump scare warning, because the video ends like this. I think that this horror short is very well done, especially for the time and what I'm presuming is little to no budget. It's really the only video on Chester's channel, and I couldn't really find anything else about it. But I do just want to give praise to Chester because this video is spooky scary and I love it. Oh Sheep is a short animated film that came out by Godfrey Mentor in 2018. This short opens on a dusty desert-like setting. We do see that there is one bright green patch of land, and there are two shepherds with their flocks of sheep, and they are both approaching this tiny little area of grass. You can tell almost immediately that these shepherds, these men, do not like each other. But the sheep, on the other hand, they are feeling themselves. They just want to have a good time, a good sheepy time. The shepherds, however, are super mad. They don't want their sheep mingling with each other. The men decide to work together to build a fence to keep the sheep separated so that they're not mingling with each other. But The sheep don't care. The shepherds then decide to up their ante and they build a barbed wire fence together to keep the sheep separated from each other. The shepherds finally finish their work and they go to sit down, but there is one sheep that decides to jump the fence, and it doesn't really work out well for that sheep. I have to say right off the bat, the animation is super cute. I was watching this and I was like, these sheep are adorable and I love them and I would die for these sheep. But then it gets super sad after this point and it just makes you like not happy at these shepherds. They're being complete dicks about it. Just let the sheep have fun. The cycle then continues and the shepherds decide that they need to build a rock wall, but it again doesn't stop the sheep from trying to hang out. And it's really hard to watch, and I hate it. Finally, the shepherds decide that they do need to think outside of the box. The men decide to shave different patterns into their sheep so that the shepherds are able to tell them apart. And finally, with this perfect solution, the men nod to each other, their feud finally over. The sheep are like super excited for a moment. They're like, yes, we can finally party without these shepherds bringing down the vibe. But then they all realize that they have different patterns on them. And so the different sheep start headbutting each other until every sheep is no longer alive. I just want to watch some cute sheep being cute, but I guess that's too much to ask in this iceberg. I should know better by now. People seem to really enjoy this short. It has a 6.7 out of 10 on IMDb, which I feel like is pretty okay for a short film. I mean, obviously there are better things to watch, and both me and my partner agreed that it's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of weird, but I guess that might be the point. But people do seem to like it, and you might like it too, so feel free to check it out if you want, but just know that you're going to be sad by the end of it. This last entry is called SpongeBob Cave Eaten Alive. This is really just a SpongeBob SquarePants theme song, but it's different and with crazy animations. We see SpongeBob as he goes into a cave, and then he quickly runs out as he gets chased by a sea snake with a little beard. SpongeBob barely escapes the cave before being munched on by the little sea snake. Iconic. Well, guys, that is tier 5 of the Weird YouTube Iceberg. I hope that you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to like and subscribe. Feel free to leave in the comments below if you want me to do any deep dives on any of these subjects. Yeah, I hope that you guys are getting lots of sunshine, drinking water, yeah, all that good stuff. But again, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. And keep being the bad bitches that you are. Goodbye, guys.